Hi everyone, this is Milos Sarcev covering Ferrigno legacy here in Palm Springs for muscular development. This is first time I'm with the MD and I'm very excited to be part of it. We are here to cover men's physique, classic physique, and open men's bodybuilding at the highest level. I've seen a list of competitors. It's a deep lineup. I'm actually quite surprised because after a long year of competing, we have some great champions like Brandon Curry, Cedric McMillan entering the show, hoping they can win and get to Olympia qualification. I talked to them. I talked to Brandon Curry today, and he's very specifically telling me he wants a full year to focus on the Olympia, hoping he's going to win this show tomorrow. However, we have a deep lineup. I would just mention a few people. Silvio Samuel, that's actually a friend of mine that I prepared long ago, who was sensation a few years back, is coming back. He told me he's in top condition and then trying to mess up the plans of these big boys. Speaking of the big boys, we have a small boy, 212, Jose Raymond, who actually might be overpowering everyone, even though he is a 212 champion. I say champion even though he didn't win Mr. Olympia. He is a champion in heart. I follow his career for a long time. He's one of the most heavily muscled. He's granite condition, so much muscle mass that proportionally maybe he's probably the biggest guy on stage. So it would be very interesting to see if 212 guy can mess up the plans of giants and be a real David. We have actually a few other guys, and I would say that one guy that I might be biased to say because he's a good friend of mine and client I started working with, is Manuel Romero. I was a big fan of his physique for a long time. I think he's really capable of being sensational, so hopefully he's going to be contender tomorrow, and I have a huge plans for him next year. He's pretty much what the bodybuilding should be all about, symmetrical proportion with a great structure, V-taper, X-frame, and really that wow factor. We have a Cedric McMillan. What to say about Cedric? I mean, he is the Arnold Classic champion, and in opinion of many people, he could be next Mr. Olympia. And now, is it Cedric gonna bring it tomorrow? This is the question. At Olympia, he was, for me and many others, in disappointing shape. So hopefully he found the correct way to prepare himself, and we'll see what he's going to bring tomorrow on the stage. We have Josh Wade. Josh Wade is another dark horse, I would say. Guy is in incredible condition year-round. I believe he works with John Meadows, somebody I highly respect. I've seen a video of him just like a couple of weeks ago, and he was in granite condition, like John Meadows' granite supplements. It was phenomenal, so he's going to be a contender. Then I've seen Brandon Ray today. Actually, I confused him for Brandon Curry, and when they announced Brandon Curry to show up there, I was like, hey, Brandon, go ahead. He says, it's the wrong Brandon. He's another guy that really has everything. So the way I see it, you see, most of the people are just looking for big names and thinking only big games can be top 5. I believe that at a professional level, at this kind of lineup, the very least favored guy can actually win the contest. I remember back in the days in the 90s, let's say 99, my last Olympia, Jay Cutler, if you guys can remember, he was 15th in incredible condition. Way overlooked probably. Jay was telling me that was one of his best conditions, and arguably so it was, but he was only 15th. Now, who's going to predict that 15th place in 99 Olympia can actually come back 2 years later and almost steal the show from Ronnie Coleman? But he did. So I would say don't be surprised if we have a completely surprising placing tomorrow. We have guys like Aaron Clark, Daniel Toth, Brad Rowe. We have a deep lineup. I think it's 25 competitors. I don't know the list by heart, but I told you guys to watch out for. As far as classic physique also, I had actually pleasure to meet Robert Timms today. He's being trained by Dragon Slayer, Rich Gaspari. I spent some time today talking to Rich. Rich was known for his incredible conditioning. Back in the day, his conditioning was actually pushing him to be a contender next to Lee Haney. I was questioning if he can beat Lee Haney. So he told me today and confessed that he's training Robert Timms, and he brought the biggest Robert he has ever been. I talked to Robert. He says he was lucky to actually make the weight. I think he said 224 and a half. He was usually competing at 209. If you guys are not familiar with Robert, think about Serge Nubret at his best. Really, this is kind of physique. Phenomenal. To go into the men's physique, I just want to say that we have a privilege of having first ever Mr. Olympia, Marc Anthony. He just happened to be my client, so I would be biased if I would say anything. But he is here ready to rumble and come back in a winning circle. And then hopefully next year move into the classic physique. So stay tuned. I'm going to be covering play-by-play tomorrow. I'm just going to be harsh as I can always be, but also honest. I'm going to say it the way I see it. If somebody is off, I'm going to call it. And if somebody should be awarded, I would say that too. I said today at MD column that I would hopefully be able to interview some of the guys. Maybe Brandon Curry, and ask him about his anabolic chicken that he was taking there in Kuwait, and Cedric McMillan doing certain things on stage, if he's going to repeat it with Lou, as he did for Arnold back in Arnold Classic. But I would encourage you to send me some suggestions for questions, because you have somebody that's going to do it. I will do it. I would ask any question, any of those guys, and I have many on my own. So tomorrow from 1 to 5 on Flexpo and Convention Center, we have a IBB prejudging of men's physique, classic physique, and open bodybuilding. At 7 to 10, we have finals of Ferrigno Legacy at the Aqua Caliente. So please be there. And for those of you that cannot be in Palm Springs tomorrow, be on musculardevelopment.com, tune in and see all the interviews, contest coverage, and play-by-play at md.com. See you there.